I bought a hurricane-damaged catamaran to be able to anchor right next to world-class surf breaks, and this week was living up to all the hype as we were parked up at Yoyos surf spot in Sumbawa, Indonesia. As well as the surf, we had come to visit an old family friend who has one of the most incredible eco-resorts I've ever been to. After surfing for a few hours at Yoyos, we moved the boat around the corner and anchored right in front of the resort because we thought we'd take you all on a tour of this remote paradise.
I have to pinch myself. We're actually here in Indonesia, surfing these incredible waves. For me, this is the ultimate. Can't stop smiling. One of my mum's best friends, her brother happens to own a resort on Sumbawa, and this is it. Parlay is anchored right in the bay here, such an incredible spot. He'll tell you all about it in a second, but one of the most admirable things he's doing is the eco side of it. But enough out of me, let's hear from him because he's a super interesting guy.
Such a long time, my God.
I haven't seen Henry since I was like this big, so we're finally here.
Yeah.
Finally get to see this place.
The paradise, my God.
How long have you been here?
About 10 years now, yeah. Found it on Google Earth and just went, wow, that's an amazing place. I went to find it, and Sumbawa is a place that not many people know about. It's amazing because there's 17,000 islands, one of the biggest islands, and it has so many amazing things going on.
But that's the beauty of it, is that it's
remote.
untouched.
It's remote, but actually Lombok's just right over there, 10 nautical miles away. So
see it. Amazing.
Yeah, I've been here since I was pretty much 2 years old. My parents moved to Indonesia, so Indonesia is really my home.
Want to show us around?
Yeah, let's go.
So Henry has built 2 resorts in the area, both with very different vibes. This one was Kirana Retreat and sits in a beautifully protected bay that we were able to anchor right in front of, and he has horses and other animals roaming freely on the property. This felt like the perfect place to relax and get back to nature away from the hustle and bustle of city life. The other resort is called Kini Resort, which I'll show you later, which had the most mind-blowing views I've seen in a very long time. Right here on the beach, Henry told me about his turtle conservation project that he's been doing for the last several years.
So the locals will take the eggs out of the nest every time a turtle comes up, and then they normally sell them in the market. It's illegal, it's like they're fully protected, but no one's enforcing it. So we go in and we offer to exchange the eggs, we give them some money. You know, it's like 1 in 1,000 will survive.
Wow.
And so we've released over 6,500 baby turtles already on this beach. The weird thing about turtles is that when your nest is situated or incubated at over 30 degrees, more of the babies will be female. So their sex is decided by the temperature of the nest, which is why we have the roof over here and we have the incubator, which keeps the temperature below 30, because we actually need more male turtles than female turtles. There's been a big decline actually over the last 30-40 years, almost down to like 10% of what there was. It's time to take some action.
Yeah. Good on you.
Yeah, this is Pak Nur. He's our gardener.
Nice to meet you.
So it's actually really difficult to get fresh produce here in Sumbawa, because they don't really farm this stuff. So we basically pretty much produce a lot of the stuff that goes from farm to table, and we also use this as an education center for the local people, how they can set things up so they're just growing more valuable cash crops rather than just corn. This is our pyrolysis machine and center. So we basically collect and sort all the plastic. We feed it into this machine over here. Pretty crazy looking machine. This is a high pressure container here which will fit 20 kilograms of plastic into it.
Yeah.
And then we basically have a gas burner underneath which will melt everything in that chamber and then turn it into a gas, and it will flow up from here and go into the chiller section, which will cool it again, and that's when we get basically the petrochemical that was created the plastic in the first place. So it goes back to being an oil, and at that point it then comes out on a tap here. What we get is a biodiesel basically, which you can use to run generators or diesel powered farming machines and things like that.
So
questions?
What comes out of here can go straight into a diesel engine?
Yes. We filter it another time after that just to get any fines out of it. But basically it'll look, I mean, some of it looks really dark and then some of it looks really light depending on what we've used and how much we've filtered it. This is what comes out of the machine before it's been filtered a few times. Once it's been filtered, it actually goes back to being sort of a lighter color like this. If we process it a second time through there, so we put it in the drum and we process it again, what actually comes out is petrol.
What? And how long does it take to make, let's say, call it 20 liters of this biofuel?
So basically if we put about 20 kilograms into here, what we'll get out is, depending on what plastics were in there, we'll get out probably 17 or 18 liters of biofuel. The process will take 3 to 4 hours in total. Actually, this is just a prototype and a pilot project to show how we can do this on a much bigger scale, which will make it much more efficient.
What does it cost to set something like this up and be able to do this, what you're doing?
Well, this was 180 million to buy this machine. We actually got donations from...
That's not dollars, by the way.
Yeah, 180 million, which equates to about 11,000 US dollars.
Right.
We find that actually we don't produce enough plastic to keep the thing running all the time, so that's why we collect off the beaches and we ask the resorts.
So it takes a lot of LPG at the moment to do that, and that costs money.
It costs money. It would actually makes the product more expensive than if you just bought the fuel from the petrol station.
So at the moment the LPG costs you more than just buying some diesel from the...
Yeah, so the diesel, charges, I think you can buy it for about 10,000 routes per litre. It costs us about 16,000 routes per litre.
Except you're doing this great deed of burning.
Yeah, we're getting rid of all this plastic, which is great. I mean, we see the piles that we collect off the beaches is huge, and we're taking that out of the ocean. Indonesia is now the second biggest polluter of the oceans in the world after China, because there's no rubbish collection. People just throw stuff into rivers, and when it rains, it all gets washed out to the ocean. And so we're lucky with this bay. Actually, the North Currents coming down pushes most of that plastic into our bay. And the first time I saw it, I was like, oh no, we got to deal with all this trash. And then I realized, wow, this is a gift. The ocean is giving us back this plastic. We have a right to take it up and collect it and fix it all up. But the idea is that this plastic actually has a value. As soon as plastic has a value, then it's not trash anymore. And then all of a sudden everyone will be collecting it. And that's what we want to achieve. And we want to show that that's viable. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's amazing.
The main thing is the education for the people. So we have regular schools come through and universities come through, and they have a look at what we're doing here. And it opens their mind about what we can do with plastics, and that it doesn't have to be an unsolvable solution.
That's where it all stems, isn't it? The education.
Yeah. So this is our organic waste is now going currently into here. Basically, we're composting. We have 2 composters here. We're composting the waste, but also we're feeding it to the maggots, and the maggots are breaking it down. We basically harvest the maggot before it turns into a fly, and that becomes food for chickens and food for other livestock.
So you got to be careful and catch them in time.
Yeah, the last thing you want is a lot of flies around the resort.
So you harvested all your own teak to build the big restaurant?
Yeah, so the great thing I discovered about Sumbawa is they put in a lot of plantation teak about 20 years ago. We go to the plantation, we cut it down personally, we bring it all here, we dry it out for like 3 months, and then we peel all the bark off it, and then we prepare it for use in construction and what have you, and it's pretty good.
I've only ever seen teak on the deck of a boat, so I didn't even know they looked like this.
We like to keep the organic tree look, so we bring that into the architecture of the space. All that whole restaurant is made, the structure is made from that teak. So
wow,
yeah,
so cool. Dad would get a real kick out of this stuff.
Yeah, Grant, you got to come down here and help me build the rest of the resort. We're only like halfway through, so.
It was super interesting hearing about all of Henry's projects. But that night, the swell that we had enjoyed surfing all morning created a bit of a nightmare situation in the dinghy as we tried to get back to the boat.
Well, that was a bit of a disaster. Just coming back from dinner, and there's a staircase, and you got to pin the bow up against it to get everyone on because there's so much surge side to side. Just tore a massive hole in the front of the tender, which is our car. And while we were there, he kicked his toenail straight off. What are we up to?
How did you do that? I was going up in the dock and I just kicked it on the rock.
Alright, let's get it cleaned up. Morning guys, just onto the tender project this morning. So first thing we'll do is just cut a patch, nice big patch like that big for it. I'm going to scuff it all up with the Dremel. Scuffed up beautifully there. We don't have any acetone, but we've got these alcohol wipes which will work really well. Look at that. I'll do it one more time right before we do it, but that's got everything off it. Really thin but even coat on here. Spreads it better than a paintbrush or something like that. Got the whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for 10 minutes and do another coat just to make sure we've got a super even layer on there. That looks fantastic. Let's do this. We'll start with the bottom edge so that it's hard up into this corner here like this. See, once it touches, it's game over. Just roll it up that line. There we go. Okay, now we just work it. Look at that, the edges are already stuck down. That is a good sign. I might just get that alcohol and wipe some of this excess glue off now, because that'll turn shitty and yellow and hard. Okay, we'll leave it for 24 hours, pump her up, hopefully she holds there.
So over at the resort, Noodles was drowning his sorrows after losing his toenail.
What are you on there, Rumbos?
Yeah, rum and a burger.
Why are you hiding the rum?
Dark rum and some mahi mahi.
Living the dream.
Beautiful. Excited. So excited.
So where are we going now, Henry?
I'm going to show you Kini. Ooh. Kini means now. It's right in front of Yoyos, which is pretty amazing. Really tried to create something that was going to look beautiful from the lineup, you know, when you look back on the hill. Hello.
This is just too beautiful, I can't.
I can't handle this.
I don't know, for those people who don't know Yoyos, it's probably one of the most consistent waves I know of in Indonesia and probably everywhere. 300 days a year, the swell just comes in off the Indian Ocean, and because of the orientation to the southwest, it can be like blowing a gale out there, but it's protected in the bay here. And we had Colin come through here, and Bill Hamilton was here as well, like last year. Yeah, it's not a beginner place, but if you like to get some good waves, this is where it happens.
So 10 years ago you bought this place. None of this was here, obviously.
No, this was all just forest. Actually, I didn't know what was here.
Did you have to like climb a tree or something to see what the potential was here?
I had to like long sleeves, hat, machete, climb up through, like there's wild boar here. So I had to like go through their tracks to get up to the top of the hill and find out what I'd actually bought. You know, we're basically trying to make it so there aren't too many straight lines, because so many of us are used to living in a box. I didn't want people to come all the way to Sumbawa and then have to live in a box, you know.
Because as an architect, were you familiar with working with bamboo, designing with bamboo?
Not really. I'd worked with straw bale, rammed earth. I've worked with a lot of different organic materials, but bamboo was the first for me. Bamboo is actually an amazing structure. It's the fastest growing tree in what's actually a grass, and it has such strength in it because of its circular structure. But it's like a candy cane. When you just harvest it, it's full of sugar. So the bugs love it, and if you don't treat it, then it will be gone in 2 years. They would just eat it.
How do you treat it?
With the borax. basically the borax and the liquid will go up into the veins of the bamboo and will crystallize. Once it crystallizes in there, it becomes really salty and the insects don't want to eat it.
So the whole thing is bamboo.
Yeah, and the roofing. So the roofing is split open bamboo. On the inside, on the ceiling, we have the bamboo facing down. And then we have a asphalt sheet in between. Then we have the outside layer. So the outside layer is bamboo as well.
How is it all fixed together? Is it little nails or?
Yeah, so most of it is all joined using bamboo pins. So they drill holes and they pin the bamboo to hold it together. The foundations are basically concrete or stone, and we plant steel reinforcement into that, and we run it up inside the bamboo for at least 2 or 3 nodes, and then we'll pour the concrete into those nodes. But basically that whole thing is filled with concrete. You can hear it, whereas this is empty and this is full. Elsa made all these tabletops, and we make the mix and we choose the different stones, and we decided to get Bombay Sapphire gin bottles and break them up because we love the color of the glass. And so then we put it into the tabletops and into the bar and into some of the outdoor seating, and hence the name Sapphire.
So you named this place after a gin?
After the gin bottle, yeah. Got 7 units over there, which we call the lodges, the eco lodges, and we'll be expanding that to more units. But at the moment, it's pretty special what's here.
Colin, what do you say the roofs look like?
It's like Jamie's bowl cut. As a surfer, this is one of the coolest places I've ever seen. I'm lost for words.
Every single eco lodge had an incredible view of the surf right off the front deck, a fully equipped galley, and of course a massive bedroom where you can literally lie in bed and watch the waves rolling into this world-class surf spot only a stone's throw away.
Bamboo is all structured to form like a leaf with all the veins and everything. And again, you've got this thing, so you've got these huge curtains which are like theatre curtains. So you open, like when I stay here and I'd wake up in the morning and I just without even like getting my head up, I can just open my eye and I can see what's going on in the surf. So the Hobbit door, of course, all made out of bamboo laminate and everything, and it takes you into this outdoor shower and bathroom. One of the key things was to have a little window so when you're in the shower you can still see the surf.
There's waves.
Yeah,
There's waves.
waves.
Yep, this was one of the coolest places I've ever seen. Henry actually told me that both resorts are on the market, so I'll leave his email in the description below if you happen to have a cheeky $10 million US lying around. So we rode back to the other retreat to have one last dinner together on the beach, and Henry offered for Noodles and I to have a couple of rooms for the night, as we were going to go for a surf at dawn, despite him missing a toenail.
Stumbling around. How many rums you had? We'll take that one. Right, thank you. Pretty fancy.
These two will stay together. The honeymoon suite. Whoa!
Ooh.
The meal on the beach was an incredible touch for our final night, as they prepared local seafood over a hot fire right on the beach.
What do you reckon, Joe?
Pretty nice.
How romantic.
Yeah.
I hadn't even seen photos of this place before, so we literally came here not knowing what to expect. But what we ended up finding here was such an incredible experience, and every one of us was wishing we didn't have to leave the next day. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. The next morning, Noodles and I were surprisingly able to get up at dawn and go for that surf, But now it was unfortunately time to sail over to Lombok to say goodbye to a couple of our crew members. We had offered to give Henry and his wife a tour of Parlay, but Henry wanted to show us one last thing before we left.
This is our Yantra Yoga Shala, and it's been designed based on Vastu architecture, which basically is a fully symmetric square where the energy source is coming from the middle, which is why we have the skylight in the middle.
So you built the boardwalk there for boat access? Right?
Yeah, so I figured the only way for us to get in and out from this beautiful, majestic bay without destroying it was to put this boardwalk along the cliff. That whole area is our sanctuary area. So
Is that where Sean went spearfishing?
yeah.
By the way, Sean went spearfishing. He went off the point
Yeah.
yesterday, and he saw a whale shark right in the bay. And then
Yeah.
he said some other guests.
Yeah, we saw a whale yesterday come in and had a big blow, and yeah, it's pretty spectacular to see this level of wildlife in here.
You seem pretty cruiser friendly. If people want to anchor here,
Absolutely,
they can use the
We've, we've had families cruising in and stay for a couple of weeks here.
But you're about to fix the access to that boardwalk, right?
Yeah. So like I said, we've got a 9-meter aluminium bridge,
Yeah.
which will be hinged on the rock, connected to the pontoon, which is already ready out there, ready just to. We've got the moorings in place, so we're literally this far away from having that all really accessible.
So by the time this comes out, that'll be done.
That'll
probably.
be done, yeah.
But so you're putting in a drawbridge. Where's that going to
Yeah,
go?
right next to it. So we'll sit on the same level as the ladder.
Yeah.
And it will come up to about here, and we'll have stays to hold.
This is Elsa, by the way. This is Henry's wife. Hi, we're going to Lombok.
Welcome
So
to Parlay.
Yeah. Amazing.
But so you're pretty seriously in the market for a catamaran, yeah?
Yep, absolutely. And I've had this dream to just go and discover all the islands that there are in Indonesia, but also up to Philippines, down to Australia, New Zealand. We'd love to do all of that.
We'll give you a little boat tour. It won't take long. You can see over here, there's like a stain in the wood up till halfway up that door.
Yeah.
That was the water line, so it sank on that side.
Ah, okay.
This is my favorite part of the boat.
Yeah.
Once you have a fly bridge,
Yeah.
you've sailed around on one, like there's no way you could not have one.
Yeah.
So I was giving Henry and Elsa the full tour when they told us about a secret bat cave on the other side of the bay. And with Elsa having never been on a sailboat before, I let her pick up the anchor and take us over to see this bat cave for ourselves.
We have 198 feet to go. Now, go to the right. There you go. Doing good. You're driving a 45-foot catamaran.
Yeah! Can you call me captain now?
And sure enough, less than a mile away was a cave filled with bats. Who are quite the pungent animals if you ask me.
See the bats?
Yeah. Saw them and smelled them.
That was just noodle.
See you again.
Thank you. So nice to meet you. You guys are lovely.
I very seldom say this because there's usually one or two things that I'm missing that I would like in my life. But I could live there. It's got everything that I would want. Friendly people, surf, amazing water and spearfishing, and it's got the whole lot. The last time we surfed was in the Philippines. So going from there to this is world class.
Has something deeper, this energy, as Henry was saying, that's really special.
Yeah. Whoa, shit! So this channel gets gnarly. We got this massive current coming down against the wind, and we got these square waves. We got onions rolling everywhere. Oh. I got my side hatch open. Yeah. I'll leave a link in the description for Kini Resort and Kirana Retreat. Both are amazing places. Kirana is on the Anchorage side where the boat was, and Kini Resort's looking at the wave. So that's where I would stay. Link in the description. Phew.